Hello and welcome to Read Some More Wednesdays. I am Linda. I am the owner designer of Sweet Aria Decor. Aria is my daughter. She's 12, so the sweetness is debatable right now. But so we are in the midst of making Halloween stuff. I know it seems really early, but if you're a crafter, we have to get this stuff done kind of early. So I am making a Halloween, and I thought tonight we'd make something fun. We're going to make a candlestick arrangement. Okay, we're going to do it on. This is a candlestick. I think this was $5 from Dollar Tree, believe it or not. If you can see, it's got like a little sparkly little raven on here. It looks really cool. So we're going to decorate it. Now, what I have done here is, if you can see, you're like, what is that lumpy stuff on the top? So this is gaps and cracks. It is spray foam insulation. What I do is I can spray it on stuff or in a container. It is insulation that turns into foam, and then we can use this as our floral foam. So we'll put our picks and stuff right into this. Now, it's usually white. You can see some of the white speckle. I painted it black only because I hate Spanish moss. You know, that stuff that looks like pubes? Disgusting. I freaking hate it, and it makes me gag to use. So I don't want to have to fill in any of the spots with Spanish moss. So I painted it black. Much easier and cheaper too, probably. But we've done that. We are going to add onto our thing. The main pièce de résistance here is going to be this foam pumpkin, which is so super cute. I got it at Goodwill, guys. I got it at Goodwill. It's brand freaking new, right? So we're going to put that on top of the candlestick, and then we're going to have some florals coming out. Okay, we've got some vines coming down. We're going to have some stuff maybe coming up out of the top. We're going to have a bow that we're going to make with this orange ribbon. Got some curls. But of course, we have to have our florals. And I have a mix of, these are orange roses. These are the last of the orange roses from Joann. Oh, may she rest in peace. My gorgeous girl. I miss you so. And then these are black florals from Dollar Tree. Now, Dollar Tree has raised their price. Now it is $1.75 for these stems, but they're pretty good. I like working with these because they're smaller and they're not super, super big. So they can go into some smaller spaces and not take up too much real estate. Okay, so we're going to use all that stuff tonight. Plus, I grabbed 2 of these. I'm only going to use 1 at the most, maybe. But this cute little Halloween pick. We like this guy. And then I have orange, white, and black balls. Now, these came from the at-home store. There's 3 branches on here, but sometimes I can break them up and kind of poke them in here. But these are $2.49. I think this year they might be $2.99 now. This was from last year. Okay, so what we're going to do, and we got some curls maybe, is we're going to start by, if I just set that on there, that's not very flat. What I should have done before I painted it, and I didn't think to do it, is cutting it flat. Okay, so it's kind of domed. We want a nice flat surface. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it. You can use just a regular serrated kitchen knife. See, and then that's gonna lay so nicely there, so nicely. I actually think I can maybe even cut it down just a little bit more. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so I could just glue this on here. Okay. However, knowing me, I'd knock it off. So what I want to do is I want to just put some of these these are stems from things I've already cut off. So you can use skewers or something, but I want to have some skewers in there so I can push my pumpkin on, or I might even push them into the pumpkin. Okay, and then have it be nice and flush. And then these are in there making it really secure so it's not going to fall out. 1, 2. Ugh. This is really testing my strength, of which I have none. I am a wimp. I will freely admit that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's all I'm going to need is 3 of these. Okay. So I have done it before where I've put it in the pumpkin and push down, but then it kind of just pushes it further in the pumpkin. So this time I'm going to actually try to put the skewers into the candlestick because it's solid on the bottom. So it can't go any further down than that, right? All right. just add a little hot glue. Now, I always use Gorilla Glue in my glue gun because it's just, in my personal opinion, the best. Love it. And I just use a regular old Surebonder glue gun from Walmart. Nothing fancy to see here. Okay. I'm going to let that set up in there for just a second. Go check out my comments, which don't stay up for me. So I want to be able to say hi to everybody who's watching. Leslie, hello. Janine, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having a good week. Here in Chicago, we had a little bit of rain earlier today, but looks like it's all better now. It's actually, you know how it gets really humid and then your windows fog up? That's where we're at right now here. Fun times. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue, going down here, going on these, okay? Now I want to push this on here. I'm going to try to center it as good as I can, okay? We'll see. All right. I'm pushing it down, but I'm not pushing it all the way. Not all the way yet. Sorry, I got to sit down and do this. That wasn't working good for me that way. Okay, then I'm going to pull it up just a little bit, and I'm going to put some glue all the way around. You know, a pumpkin, it's not a completely flat bottom because it's got those little, like, the waves of the pumpkin, right? So whatever I can do to add additional security on there is great. All right, here is our pumpkin. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. All right, I'm sitting down now because I'm old and that is what I need to do. So I like to start out by working on the bottom. So I have here, again, this came from Michael's, okay? I got this last year, but they pretty much have it every year. It's the Ashland brand. And I'm just gonna go in and try to push some of these in. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 of these. 1, 2, 3. So I can't really go all the way around per se, but I can get enough in there. I think that it'll kind of help. All right. So I'm just going to add some glue right onto there. It's sharp enough that it will pierce this foam really easily. Okay. Just push it in as far as I can get it. All right, 1, 2. Because I only have 5, I want to lay this out. 3. Wait a minute. Yeah, I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just so I kind of roughly know where I can start putting these things in. Now, some of these branches are pushers, meaning you can slide things up and down. These are not pushers. Okay, so I'm kind of stuck with, they are where they are. But I like the length on these. I know this is a bit of a shorter candlestick, but it's cute. I've had this for a long time. So I'm glad I'm finally getting to use these babies. And these, yes, they were from Dollar Tree, but I think they were $5 a piece. Was it 3 or 5? They were 3. There were 3 last year. So this year they're probably going to be 5. Because, you know, tariffs and all that other great stuff. So things are going up a little bit, but the wreath frames I think are $1.75. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about that because I thought for a while, I didn't know if they were going to have them anymore. So this beggar ain't going to be a chooser. I'm going to be happy that they've got them at all. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to kind of spread all these vines out. So that looks pretty darn cool. I'm liking that. Next thing I want to go in and add though is some black leaves. So these were also from Bloom Room. Joann. Oh, I miss you, Joann. Girl, I miss you. All right. If I put it in there just like this, that is awfully long and we don't need it that long. What I'm trying to do is cut them into sections of 2. Okay. So I can get 2 pieces as I drop them on the floor. I can get 2 pieces out of every branch because I'm trying to make this go as long of a way as possible, to be honest. But I feel like I do feel like I need some more on the bottom. This isn't going to be enough. So I'm trying to think what I could possibly use. Hold on. I bought some stuff. Hold on, guys. I got some stuff. I got stuff. I did. All right. Hopefully we'll see if these will work. So, oh, sorry. Just knocked into you. These are from Dollar Tree, but these are some bigger leaves. So I can put these kind of going around underneath here and then kind of put these glittery ones over that. So I got quite a few of these actually. Some of these had orange glitter and some of them didn't have any glitter. If you know me, you know that I'm a glitter girl. Glitter girl, so I like all my glitter. Okay, so let's try one and see what we think. Okay. And the good thing is I can always pull this out before the glue really, really hardens. I kind of like it because then over the top, we're going to be able to put stuff like this. So kind of just really, I don't want that to go on the bottom. That's kind of just there for like additional extra coverage, okay? All right. And actually, maybe I can even get 3 pieces out of this. I'm going to try that. All right. Always about trying to make the most of what you're putting in here because everything you use costs money. So the more stuff that we put in here, the more it is going to cost some money. Now we're going to go around here. Those black florals you saw earlier, I'm going to kind of put them around the bottom. So you don't have to go too high up on here, but I wanted to make sure I did get some stuff a little higher up. So adding this, and we'll see what we think. And drop comments, let me know if you're liking what you're seeing, if you got any different ideas. Ideally, I would have had some 60919 in the black and white, which I do have, but it's reserved for a custom project, jack-o'-lanterns that I'm doing for somebody. So I cannot, unfortunately, use those. But I wish I could. And I tried to order more because I had gotten it originally from Craft Outlet. This beautiful mixed greenery. And they were sold out. So I should have bought more. If you're a crafter, you know, you got to buy your Halloween stuff in like May. All right. Kind of bringing some of this in here. It's kind of like bending downward, which I'm liking, kind of coming underneath there so that we can add our black glitter leaves. I'm going to have to find somewhere that has a comparable option. Okay, actually I put it in upside down. Hold on. There we go. There you go, Linda. And see, it all starts to blend together, right? We're liking how that's looking. Okay, let me go around this way. Let's gonna add some more of these leaves here. Put in a little bit of that one. Cut that off. There we go. I was listing stuff on Etsy before this, and I kind of completely forgot that I was going live tonight, even though I had all the stuff out waiting for me on the table. Did I remember? No. I was getting drowsy. I was like, ooh, I'm going to take a little nap. Nope. Get up. All right. I'm just going to kind of finish going around here with these leaves, trying to get them in there as far as we can. All right. And so far, I'm still on the first pack of leaves. So it's $1.75 of these leaves has gone quite far. Joann used to have really good, beautiful black flocked leaves on a bush. And I still have a couple of those left. They were just the best. Now that Michaels is going to be carrying some of their items. I really hope that they look into some of their stock for some of the things that they had, especially the Halloweeny stuff, because it was great. They had the best candy corn picks. The ones from Michaels were okay, but they're not the colors that I like. They're more like glittery, and that's not my deal. That ain't my vibe, man. That ain't my vibe. All right, stealing one more off of another bush. And again, these leaves came from Dollar Tree. And you know, some stuff, it's hit or miss with the quality of Dollar Tree, right? It's hit or miss. But the whole point with Dollar Tree is, you know, if you're able to get the products for less, then you can charge less for the products. Okay, so I think I'm good with my leaves. I'm going to move those over there. I'm going to go back to my glitter leaves here. And remember, we were just kind of using a bunch, right? And I'm cutting these down, so I'm getting at least 2 to 3 out of each of these. And then they have a nice wire so that we can bend them down as well. I like that. I think I'm going to try to keep it at pieces of 3. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Coming up with another one here. There we go. All right. So how are you guys doing? Anything special going on? Anything coming up this weekend? I have my cousin's son's birthday party. I'm going to an 8th birthday party. It's going to be fun. It's always a good time. All right. Coming around here. Got another piece of this I'm going to slide in here on the other side. I think I might need just maybe one more. So I'm just going to cut the tip off of one of these. Just the tip. Look, that's what you get with me, okay? You know what you signed up for when you started watching me. Don't pretend you didn't. And I'll be dirty birdies together. All right. Which way is up on these? There we go. That is up. Okay, so for right now, let's take a look at where we're at right now. We still have these gaps are in there because I'm going to be putting in the black flowers all along there. Now you might get some little strings of glue, as I call it, glue snot. Just end up pulling that out. That's just inevitable. Par for the course, right? But we have laid a nice bed of different length black vegetation, I'll call it for lack of a better word. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to start laying on these black florals. Okay, again, these were from Dollar Tree. All right, now these I can kind of snip a little bit closer in because these are going to go kind of like pretty close into here. All right. But in a minute, we're also going to talk about something else. So hold on a second. And I don't have to go all the way in. It just needs to go far enough in. Because if I go too far, it's going to take that flower and it's going to squish it. I don't want that. We don't want to squish. We don't want squishy squish. No. But I will take the leaves that come with it. I'm going to make sure to push those up in there too. Okay. Anything we can add for coverage to possibly hide the foam or, you know, not have to use Spanish moss. We will do that. Okay. A little further in. There we go. And see how the tips are just, the tips are touching. Just like that. And it's not too far in. See, it's got about an inch from there. Okay. So before we go further, I will tell you that I'm going to put in a bow. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put the bow in front here, keep a spot open for the bow, or if I'm going to add the bow to the top. I'm kind of thinking that I want to add the bow here because if I add a bow onto the top of this, I'm worried that the bow is going to overshadow the pumpkin. So I am going to leave a spot here to put in the bow. So I'll probably end up putting like my last floral, like my last bloom in here, and then keep a gap for the bow that we're going to make. I'm going to attempt to make one by hand. And if you guys know me, you know that making hand bows is not my deal at all. It hurts my hands really, really bad, but this should be a fairly simple bow. And it's using a ribbon that's not particularly stiff. Like it's not like a real heavy bodied canvas. So it shouldn't take too much effort, hopefully, to hold on to it. Okay, now see here, I'm going to slide this off of that stem. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to keep that there because I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that for something. Yep, I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that to the side. All right. Because I also have, look at that other one. Look, it's a surprise. It's a spider. But I think maybe we might put that up top, or I might save that for a different project because I don't have too, well, I got a little bit of silver in there, I guess. Yeah, I could bring it in. I could bring it in. And I might have to touch up a little bit of paint on the top of Dude Man, because I just noticed that he's missing a little bit of paint, which is fine. You know, we can fix that. I'm going to cut a little bit more off. All right. I'm just going around. And again, I'm not shoving it all the way in. I'm just pushing it in enough where they start to meet, and it starts to go under a little bit, but it's not getting squished. We still want to be able to see the pretty floral centers on here, okay? Going to my second bush now. Grab 1, 2. See how many more we need. Probably a third. All right. There we go. I'm going to check my comments in just a minute because I don't want to be ignoring everybody. Facebook doesn't keep my comments displayed for me because I'm coming in not as a moderator. I'm just coming in as somebody watching. So I keep having to hit live chat. Greenery! Hey, Justin, how's it going? Nancy, this pumpkin, believe it or not, I got it from Goodwill. So I don't really know where they got it, but you can find places like I've seen glittered pumpkins like at home, you know, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, you know, just kind of keep your eyes out. I also find ones like this at like my home improvement store locally. Anybody who carries any kind of stuff might end up carrying something. So always keep your eyes open. I've even found really cool looking decor at the grocery store, believe it or not. I'd found some really cool fireworks that were like foam and they looked like rockets. And I buy a bunch of those every year that my grocery store carries them, and they end up being like really cheap. So it's just funny, the places, if you keep your eyes open, always be in shopping mode. Oh, thanks, Nancy. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I think it's going to turn out cute, and it's going to be pretty, but it's not going to be too massive, right? We don't want it to be super, super tall, you know. I've made some that are taller, but this is kind of intended to be slightly smaller. There's something so satisfying just about the feeling of pushing stuff into foam. Okay, I only need one more, and then I'm going to have that gap there, and we are going to make a bow. That's what's coming up next. Very, very exciting times here. Okay, that's our spot for the bow. All right, let me get my ribbon out. And I'm also going to get out, I have a pick machine here, so I'm going to end up making a pick out of this, but I'm going to have my chenille stem, which I'm going to cut in half because I don't want to waste. All right, let me clean up all my tags and stuff. Okay. All right, so here we go. Oh, I'm going to try to make this by hand. All right, and I'm literally just going to probably have this. Yeah, I'm going to dovetail it. I don't think this is long enough to really justify having like cascading curls, and this isn't the kind of ribbon that would hold a curled tail very well. It's got a wire in there, but it's not like super wiry. Okay, so here we go. So I'm pinching and twisting. Okay, here we go. Pinch and twist. And I bring this up. And is this going to be a good enough loop size? Could go bigger. Yeah, I think I'm going to go about that size. Okay, pinch and twist. All right. Bringing it over. Make sure they're the same size. Yep. Ouch. I hate doing it by hand. It sucks. Oh, I'm just so bad with it. I'm so bad with it. All right. Making sure that looks kind of the same. And pinch and twist. Coming up that way. Yep. A little bit more. It's about the same. Okay. Pinch and twist. Dear God. I hate doing it by hand. I'm trying to do it to prove something to myself. And I'm really regretting that decision right now. I have a bow maker sitting right there. Why the heck didn't I use it? Oh, okay. Pinch and twist. Okay. So now I have 3 loops on either side. I want 4. Go big or go home, Linda. Go big or go home. Well, I'm already big and I'm already at home. So I don't know what else I can do. All right. All right. Pinch and twist. Pinch and twist. All right. Good enough. Here, cut that one down. I'll dovetail it in a minute. I'm frustrated. All right. So I'm gonna wrap pipe cleaner around this whole thing. Here we go. All right. Put it down the bottom. Okay, I'm just gonna twist it once. All right, I want to mess with my loops and figure out where they're going before I really tighten this thing any further. I could have put more loops in here, but I don't want it to become so overdone with loops that I end up like it overshadows the pumpkin. Like we don't want that, okay? There we go. Not bad. Not bad, Linda. Yay, you. Yay. I gotta go a little bit shorter on this one. All right. Okay. So now that I'm done, I'm gonna twist this. So if you were doing this without a pick machine, you could probably keep your chenille stem the entire length, right? And then you could get a bamboo skewer. You could take, you know, the ends of florals you've already cut off, and you would just take this, add a little bit of glue, and then you would just wrap the chenille stem around that stem, okay? You would just keep wrap it, do it good. It would be sitting on there, right? And then you would just cut off the stem whatever length you wanted to and use that to shove it in, okay? Wait till the glue dries though, okay? But because I have a pick machine, I'm going to add a pick because it just makes it a lot easier. I'm going to make sure this is super, super tight though, because the tighter this is twisted, the prettier my loops are. They pop. It's a push-up bra for your loops. There we go. All right. So I'm going to take this over to my pick machine. I am going to trim this a little bit. I only need about 1 inch. All right. I take it over to my pick machine. I'm not picking up the pick machine to show you because it's really heavy and I'm only going to use it for this one thing. All right. But I will show you that that is what it puts on there. That is a stabby little MFer. That is sharp. Don't step on it. Don't step on it. Ask me how I know. How do you think I know? Don't step on it. Little freaking sharp thing. All right, so we're going to want this to go right in there. Okay, so I am going to load this up with glue, but I'm going to add the glue so that it's not going to drip down and accidentally get on my tails. Okay, we don't want that. All right, here we go. Pushing it in and holding. La di da 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 da. Do 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 do. Letting it dry. All right. It's still drying, but I can kind of come in here and start playing a little bit. See, it's not a huge, it's not a massive bow. It's just a little enough. It's just like a little tiny. You know what this reminds me of? You know Colonel Sanders, how he's got that cute little bow tie that he wears like on those little cartoon things. Yeah, this is like a Colonel Sanders bow. So you could just leave this as it is, but this is me, so you know we're not going to do that. We're going to add some more cool stuff. Now this is already kind of coming off, so I'm going to separate this out. But I thought it might be kind of cool to add maybe some stuff around the top. I don't know. Kind of thinking about it. Because I also do have some orange roses up at the top, all right? So I wouldn't add a bow, but I would put some stuff in here, and then I would add some carefully curated roses here. But see, I'm going to pull this apart, and I'm not going to put this in as one giant piece. I'm going to put these in as multiple different pieces, okay? And because this pumpkin is foam, I can go right into it. Now, if this was not a foam pumpkin, you could spray some more of that gaps and cracks around the top, and then you could poke it in there that way. That works too. Oh, that's going in there so nicely. I like that very, very much. Now this, I'm going to separate out. There we go. I pulled it out from the big. I didn't need all that much. This has just a little thin wire on there, which I think is good enough. All right. This one's going to kind of stand more straight up. Okay. Let's see what else we have to work with here. I did pull out, we had some pumpkins. I had a little piece of this. We can go put this in here. I also had, I got some more of these little pumpkins that I got from the at-home store that we can kind of put on there as well. But I think before we do that, you know, I'm going to add some roses. I just want it to be slightly decorated on the top, but not too much, just a little bit, because I don't want to hide the beautiful pumpkin that we have here, okay? So I'm going to put this one right in here. Little rose right there. Okay. And then I think maybe I'm going to put in, I can even cut that a little bit shorter. We're going to put this little pumpkin kind of right in there too. Kind of break up where we're going to have the roses. And I'm not pushing it all the way flat. I'm kind of leaving it on a little bit of an angle because I want to be able to put another one of these roses in. Now I want to pick a rose that's got some florals close to, there we go. These has pusher leaves. So I was able to push this leaf up toward the top. Okay. This is cute. All right. Angle it that way a little bit. I'm trying to angle the pumpkin a little bit to the side. I don't want it to line up exactly with that, right? Now we're going to go toward the back because we cannot be ignoring the back here, okay? So I think I want this pumpkin to kind of come up a little bit like there. It's between the two, so I'm going to trim off just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. A little bit. All right, and I'm going to put that right in here, kind of between that, pushing it in. I'm trying to get close to the pumpkin without having it, you know, having my finger go in the glue. We don't want that. Linda screams enough. We don't need that. All right, now I'm going to go grab another rose. Adding some glue on there. I feel like what we put on the top here doesn't have to be a lot, but it's just adding a little bit of extra. And this also solves the problem for me of it doesn't matter that there's a little bit of white that was taken off the top of the stem because we're not going to need it. So it could go in just a little further. Come on. Push, 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 push. I got two stems hitting each other. That's why it won't go in. There we go. A little better. Okay, now one more. And I kind of like that I'm leaving the orange just for the top. I could have interspersed and I could have like alternated the ones that I had down there. Now see how I got this leaf kind of coming down, right? That's looking cute. I could put in off to the side, but I think that brings in an element that I'm not super keen on. Now I did talk about putting this in there before, but I think, I don't know, that might, I don't know, that looks kind of cute. Kind of coming in on an angle. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I want that to go. So I'm going to measure how far in. So if I want him to sit here, right, how far into my pumpkin do I need to go? So I'm going to cut it like here. Now I have to be real careful with this. This is not the strongest wire in the world. So I'm going to have to be careful when putting it in there. Oh, I just got dive bombed by there's a fly. Shoo fly, don't bother me. All right, pushing it in. I don't want to push it from the top of the pumpkin because it'll just have that stem come out then. Bend that back a little bit. He's cute. Okay. All right. I do have a little bit more black. I'm going to use this because I think I'm going to put it right back here because there's kind of a gap there and I want to be able to have some more coverage. So I'm just going to pop that in there real quick. There we go. So like, even if you're pulling apart a bush and like, hey, I'm not going to use this, save it, put all of your little pieces together in one bin. And then when you're looking for something small like that, you'll be able to pull it out and be like, hey, there we go. You'll have all the stuff you need. Okay, so let me get the glue snot off of here. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is our finished little guy. Pretty cool. I think he's looking good. Oh, I want to push this one a little bit more. Hold on, I'm trying to push it in a little bit further. There we go. Yeah, this fly is really dive bombing me. I think it's like a personal vendetta. I don't know what his problem is. But apparently he doesn't like me. You know what? I do see. I want to put, here we go. I got this one little piece. There's a gap right in here and I don't like it. So I'm going to take this piece of black and I'm going to put this right in here. Cover that. Oh, perfect. Oh, it's exactly what I wanted. Oh, I love it. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. Okay, so here we go. Here is our finished thing. So this was a last year's $3 candlestick from the Dollar Tree. This year, I'm sure it's probably going to be $5, but still, really good deal. Really good deal. Then we had these hanging vines. This was Ashland, so that's from Michael's. We had these glitter leaves that were from Joann, but you can probably find similar ones. You know, check out, they had some glitter leaves at home, but also check out Michael's. They don't have all of their Halloween floral out yet, but they're starting to get it out slowly. And then we had these black florals are from Dollar Tree. $1.75 now, but still I think worth it because there were like 4 or 5 heads on a bush. So still pretty good. This pumpkin came from Goodwill, so you can look at Goodwill to find glittered pumpkins there. You can also, you know, paint yours and make your own. We added gaps and cracks on top of the candlestick in order to be able to stick the pumpkin on there. So we cut it flat, and then we put some skewers in there and then push the foam pumpkin on there to make sure that, like, he ain't going anywhere. He's on there good, okay? And then at the top, we just had a little, this was like a little pick, a little floral pick left over from Joann last year. I kind of pulled it apart, put the different pieces in there, really spread it out, added in some orange roses, and then the pick also had these pumpkins on there. And then this was a little guy that came from Ashland brand, so that was Michael's last year, so that was a little pumpkin, and he matches the bow. And this ribbon, I think you can get this from Craft Outlet. It's maybe, this says RW8026, but this might have come from the Craig Bachman warehouse sale, so I don't know if it's the same brand or not. All right, so I'm going to have this listed at sweetariadecor.com. And I'm also going to have this backed up to my YouTube channel, all of my decent quality videos that didn't get screwed up. Thanks, TikTok. Usually end up over there. I've got a huge library I've been keeping of videos like this, so you can see how to make different things. And then I'll list this in sweetariadecor.com is my shop. That's where you can find finished decor. But I also sell ribbon, wreath kits, and other supplies there as well. So go check that out. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm going to turn this way so I have multiple chins. And your support means everything to me. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tonight. And, you know, let me know. Let me know. Message me. Let me know. Do you like Summerween? Is Summerween a thing for you? Because it wasn't a thing for me until like last year. And now this year I'm fully Summerween. Absolutely. Absolutely. Loving Summerween. All right, I got to go back and go check my comments so I didn't ignore anybody. I want to make sure everybody knows I'm reading their stuff. Janine, okay. Oh, Lila, hello, my friend Lila. I really appreciate you watching. Lila's been through the ringer this week. I tell you. Linda, my friend Linda. Lydia, thank you. Rosemary, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your comments, guys. Oops, I just missed a bunch of them. It just went away. I'm sorry. All right, I'll go back and review this, but have yourselves a wonderful evening, and I will catch you Monday at 12 Central for Monday Crafternoon. Will it be a Halloween thing again? Will it be every day? Who knows? Thanks. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me all over social media, and you can shop my store at sweetariadecor.com.